Hello, civilians. I just wanted to start this video off with a little intro preamble. Of course, the story starts before late May of 2021, but I just want to keep it to around my debut to today for this video. But special mentions for milestones in my idol career include fumbling my debut twice. My debut was going to be January 28th, and then what I made I wasn't proud of, and then I was sick as hell, and then I overestimated what I actually needed to do in terms of promo and everything. And then April was going to be my second rain check date, and I want it to be early April like Sentai and Kamen Rider because 2021 was a prominent tokusatsu anniversary year. And then I ended up pushing it back because there was a rise in violent racist attacks against Asian Americans, and I felt I needed to put my money and energy towards that first. And then my other milestone is the Summer Idol Matsuri, which was my first ever virtual event, which I kind of knew about the submission I made. I will unprivate the video once, just because this is a special occasion. And without further ado, a year of Bakery Sentai Pawn Ranger. So this is about as pre-debut as it's gonna get for this retrospective. A day or two before I actually debuted, I went on Growing to 160 Centimeters, which is like a podcast and radio show that was hosted live on Twitch first, and then the VOD would be posted onto YouTube after. And it was hosted by Utaite and idol T. Reese. I got to talk about my project and tokusatsu, and it was a great experience to ring in my debut after having so many setbacks, and I was so nervous about it at the time. One of the best parts of my job being a tokusatsu hero idol, and really just someone that makes content creation around tokusatsu, is hearing people talk nostalgically about the shows that they grew up with. I personally grew up with like Showa era kaiju media like Ultra 7 and Ultraman and Godzilla, because my dad also grew up with those. And Reese talked a little bit about watching Gaim in middle school, which is very cool. If you see me at an event, please talk to me about the shows that you grew up with. I love hearing about it, and seeing people light up when they talk about stuff like that is so cool. And I have yet to actually finish Gaim. I am so sorry, Reese. I would have loved to come back as part of my first year anniversary, like I said during the podcast, but 160 Centimeters is currently on indefinite hiatus, and I hope they come back soon. So this was intended to be the debut song since the beginning. Right before I started getting stuff in motion to debut, some stuff came out about how the actor for Kamen Rider Black and Black RX, Tetsuo Kurata, was bullying fans and like extorting them for money and just doing all sorts of nasty, underhanded shit, like going down the path of Super One's actor. If you know, you know, and at least his belt wasn't held hostage by the Yakuza, man. I don't know. I briefly switched it to the Battle Fever J opening because it's one of my favorite Sentai series. And I ended up coming back to Darekaga Kimi o Aishiteiru because of the lyrical content of it, and I wanted that to be the message for my project. And I literally can't imagine what my life would have been like if it was the Battle Fever J opening. So this was my first post-debut virtual event. The people over at NIIA, which is the New Italian Idol Alliance, are so cool and are so welcoming, and their showcases are open to like people of various different experience levels and skill levels, and it's very cool. This was a great experience as someone whose project is very nostalgia heavy, because NIIAnimation Memories, the theme for it for your submission would have to be stuff from like anime, cartoons, media from childhood, and it was very sweet the whole time. Thank you to everyone who came out to this event. This is a really interesting growth period for me. No one ever really talks about what the next few months after your debut feels like, or what you really should be doing after that. In my experience, I was simultaneously confident as hell, but also putting out content and putting yourself out there and continuing to do the hard work is really scary and hard. And I had auditioned for a ton of stuff, and I didn't get into most of them, and I felt like crap. And the only thing that I applied for and I got into was my Maid Cafe, which is Milk Pink Maid Cafe. I also started working on my original single during this time, and we're gonna put a pin in that because we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Okaru nashaimase, Puchicon-sama, Ohime-sama. Ending the summer was the Maid Cafe at Puchicon, Atlantic City. This was my first IRL event ever performing. No actual footage from this event exists because I messed up in the excitement of everything and I did not bring my camera down. If you have footage of me at this event, please send this to my email because I would love to have it for my own records. And you can find my email down in the description. I had to leave the event early because of a emergency, but thank you to everyone who came out. I know people day 2 were like, "Where's Pawn?" I had to leave because of some family stuff. Thank you. So the end of 2021 was particularly rough for me. After this point, it gets a little heavy until I start talking about the start of 2022. So please skip to the time code on screen if you're uncomfortable hearing very not in-depth but mentions of family member death and implications of bullying. I went on hiatus due to some life responsibilities and my mental health was really tanking. I was helping take care of my grandma, who at the time was terminally ill and they didn't know what was going on, and she ended up passing in November, and it was just devastating for me. She was incredibly supportive of me and my projects and my art, and she was there for sort of the inception of Bakery Sentai and Pawn Ranger, and she saw my costumes and stuff like that. And it sucks that she's no longer here to continue to watch me to work on my project, and I miss her very much. Holiday Matsuri was an event. This was my first kind of like big community event. I had a lot of fun performing for people, and I ended up posting something afterwards. It was like, I had a great time, thank you for coming to see me, because listen, I'm not gonna be like, thank you for coming out, this sucked on my Instagram when I'm doing a thanks for coming out little post-con post. Hall Mat was a difficult convention for me. What happened there, I don't feel comfortable talking about publicly unless it's absolutely necessary and I get consent from the other people who experienced it with me. It was not a welcoming experience to have at your first industry event, let's say that. And I ended up leaving the convention seriously thinking like, damn, I should really just finish what I started with this project and get those things done and get the people that need to get paid, and then graduate and pack it all in. This is another event in which I'm not totally comfortable releasing the full performance. I was bawling my eyes out less than half an hour before doing the hall event, so it's a little hard for me to watch. But on a positive note, I did get to perform a sneak peek of my original song that I had been working on with my composer, A916. He's been great with the aesthetic stuff, and continue to put another pin in that because we will talk about that again at the end of the video. So the year 2022 comes in, and we're entering the year with a fresh lease on the project after coming back from my hiatus after Hallmat. I applied in late December 21, early January 2022 to the group formerly known as Shiawase Signals call for auditions. And we'll put a pin in that because it does come back. Starting the year off, I did a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff for other people. So while this technically came out later, work on the Idol Insider podcast began towards the beginning of the year. I edited and transcribed episodes 0 and 1, and I also made their website using Cade. The project seems to be currently on hold, and I haven't asked if they're not. I am also the voice of the outro. For more information about our podcast, visit our website at idolinsidercast.card.co. Card spelled C-A-R-R-D. Or check out our social media pages. A very cool thing I got to do this year was I had the opportunity to work on ADEN, who you may know formerly under the stage name of Aika. I worked on their music video for Noir. We've been close collaborators ever since. I love working with them. They helped me with finishing out the mixing on Signals' birthday gift for Lexus for the cover of Starting Line, and they'll be playing a villain character in my upcoming music video. The character's name is Mold Tricks, and I'm very excited for that. I did all of the at-home shots in Noir's music video. The set was loft housing in DC, I think. It was a really gorgeous space. I'm glad to have worked on it with them. Aiden and Tama are both really great in front of the camera, and I will miss Aiden so much when they go to Japan for school.
Incoming transmission.
Well, I finally got into something. I am so excited for this. We've been working on some big stuff. I am looking forward to working with my friends Alexis Dolce, Aimee, and Celeste. And I will have a link to our social medias down in the description. Hello, Civilians of New Generation Showcase! This was the first virtual event I've done in a very long time, I think since NIIAnimation Memories last year. New Generations is a virtual event that focuses on new talent in the international idol community, or idols that are inexperienced in performing for events. I am not sure if they will be hosting another event, but I really hope they do because the concept is really cool. I am cutting it pretty close to the line between being a seasoned and unseasoned member of the international idol community, so I decided to do it before I make the leap into getting more serious. For this event, I sang Pegasus Fantasy from Saint Seiya, and I won 3rd place in the viewer popularity vote, which I am still not over that, honestly. This is the first time I've ever actually won anything, and if I were to win anything in this community, I honestly did not expect to win a popularity poll at all. Thank you again to everyone who came out to watch the event, and thank you for voting for me. Moichiro, okaeri nashaimase, goshijin-sama, ohime-sama. This is my first time performing several shows in a row. I was simultaneously prepared and unprepared for this event. Prepared in the fact that I practiced a ton in the months leading up to the event, and unprepared for the reality of performing for 4 hours straight. There is a certain amount of kayfabe associated with being a Maid Cafe maid, so I can't talk too much about the behind the scenes of this other than I did my best and it was a great time. I am definitely a stronger performer coming out of this than I was coming in, and I've been forced into shape just in time for Otakon prep. I still have a lot to learn, and I hope I can carry this experience with me. Thank you to everyone who came out to this 2 weeks ago. Pambare!
Present day. Present.
Pawn. Hello, civilians. It's been a crazy year. It took me so many takes to try and record this because each time I keep crying and getting really emotional about it. And I want to thank you all for the best year and all of your support. As I said when I debuted, I fumbled really, really hard, and people were not nice to me. My aesthetic was considered too niche, and that I wasn't cute enough, and that me and my stature and the fact that I'm thick and I'm muscular, that didn't fit the profile of an idol, and to them. And there were a lot of times where I thought I should just quit. I didn't think I'd even make it to a year. I was considering quitting late last year after some stuff happened, and I'm honestly glad that I didn't. Now at a year, I've made so many friends, and so many people think that my work is the coolest shit, and it makes me so happy, and I've had so many amazing experiences. And I've been so glad that I've been able to help out my community in the ways that I can. I'm currently staff for the International Idol Network, and I've been staff since late March of 2021, and NIIAn is the largest resource network for the international idol community that serves performers and creatives from across the world. You may know them formally as the Overseas Idol Collective, or OIC. And I'm an admin for the Tri-State Idol Union, which is a similar resource network that connects creatives within the Northeast United States, and we serve the DMV area, which is Maryland, Virginia, and we serve the DMV area, which is Maryland, Delaware, then New York, New Jersey, and PA, which is the tri-state area, and then the greater New England area. And I'm in the process of learning how to put on events in my local com here in New Jersey, And I try to donate when I can to people's crowdfunding efforts and independent or like community event groups such as Dream Stage and Next Stage events, which are in Florida. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud to be part of this community. There's something like, it's really hard to be an idol, self-produced. It's really hard to be a content creator online, and honestly, like, anyone that tries their hand at it, whether or not they succeed or whether or not they end up leaving, it's props to you for putting yourself out there. The support that I've received from everyone this past year has been overwhelming, and I'm looking forward to the future. And the positive response from everyone really outweighs all the shit that I've had to deal with initially. So some future milestones I'm looking at is that in like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm wrapping up my first merch collections pre-order. That's exciting. And I just rolled out a monthly subscription thing through Ko-fi. I have yet to make a Patreon, but I'm going to wait until I have some original music content before I do so. And so many people have supported me through there that I felt that it's time for me to have a credit roll with names at the end of my videos. And that is a fantastic decision to have to make about your editing. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated or bought from my store. Another milestone I'm looking forward to is nothing, I haven't received a letter yet. This may be that I put this out and then tomorrow I get the sorry you didn't make it, kid letter, but I applied to Otacon's now presenting stage. I'm so excited for that, if I do get in, to share a stage with my community and stuff like that, because if I do get in, this will be my first showcase, like IRL showcase appearance, and that's crazy to think about. I came about in a time where everything was virtual, and I see some places are getting rid of the virtual events, which don't. Literally, newer creators in the community could benefit from virtual events as well. I know I've performed at virtual events before, but I'm so excited because this, you know, when you perform at a virtual event, it's a completely different vibe where you're filming. It's basically you're making a mini music video to be played online, but at a live event, you get to like interact with people, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. So I really hope I get in. I'm manifesting it. There's a chance I might not, but I'm keeping... I'm manifesting. And if I do get in, I hope to see you there. And I'm also preparing for another Maid Cafe event with Milk Pink Maid Cafe in August, which is the T-Neck Puchicon event. So even if I don't get into Otakon, come see me there. So thank you so much for my first year, and I hope to have many more years in the future. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. So please stay tuned until the end of the video for the credits roll for all the people that have supported my merch store up until this video has been queued up on YouTube. And Pamere! Also, just one more thing.
の番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。